And now he just around creating crazy people.
Right,
like
right,
that's just
right,
what
right,
it is.
right,
like
yeah.
women don't just pop out crazy. Something made them crazy.
Wait, it's our fault.
That's a
wait,
bar.
wait a minute.
That's
wait a
a
minute.
bar.
Wait, it's
Valid, that's
men.
valid.
It's the fault of a man for making a woman crazy.
Yes.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I knew who Megan Thee Stallion was before this news broke. I had no idea. But I saw a lot of people talking about the announcement of her being added to She-Hulk and into the cast. So a lot of people were talking about it. I was curious who she was, and I found out. And it works perfectly for this show because, as you know, this show has nothing more than a feminist agenda that is meant to disrespect men. That's what it's all about. And it's obvious. It's obvious for anyone with a working brain and the slightest bit of common sense. And even women are out there calling all of this out. But of course, those women, they're not going to get acknowledged because, of course, why would you acknowledge something that goes against the very narrative that you're trying to create? That would be a bad thing. So let's continue to just pretend that it's just a bunch of angry men that are upset with this show or that don't like it, because that always works out perfectly well. Hello, Charlie's Angels. Great job on that film. But who is Megan Thee Stallion and why is she being added to She-Hulk? Now, of course, we're being told by the people that want to defend She-Hulk that there's no narrative, there's no disrespect, there's no feminist agenda, there's no anti-man agenda. We continue to hear that over and over and over again because, of course, it's absolutely true and they don't want to admit that. So who's Megan Thee Stallion? So I checked it out. This is an article over on Complex back in 2021. Megan Thee Stallion on making men uncomfortable. I feel like that's my job. Well, Megan, congratulations on being on She-Hulk. This is the perfect show for you. The perfect show. Now, we're told none of this stuff is happening on the show, but they just go out of their way to hire someone who says her job is to make men feel uncomfortable. Megan Thee Stallion admits that she can make men feel uncomfortable, and she's 100% okay with that. I'm starting to see how much more ignorant men are than I thought, she said in a recent interview with the Evening Standard. Now, again, as I always have to clarify and qualify, I don't have a problem with anyone making these statements in isolation. These statements don't bother me. Nothing offends me in isolation. My problem is the double standard. The double standard. Okay? So her saying that, her saying what she's saying about men and generalizing men, okay? That is the same exact thing that we have seen people get destroyed over on social media. We've been seeing people. Andrew Tate, for instance, just got universally banned from, all the major platforms. And the overriding thing was that he had misogynistic views and opinions. Now, I don't know much about Andrew Tate, but I have watched a lot of his stuff in the last few weeks because his name just blew up. And I think he's damn entertaining. And now he's over on Rumble and he's crushing it on Rumble. The point here is these same people wanted Andrew Tate gone because he might have said something that hurt their feelings, and they claimed that you can't disrespect women like that. She just sit here and said, I'm starting to see how much more ignorant men are than I thought. When you're a woman who's not a threat, men don't really bother you. Men like the damsel in distress type of role, and that's not me. I feel like that's what kind of gets under a lot of men's skin. Like, how dare she talk about her, you know what? She loves herself and she don't need me, and she's just gonna take my money. I just feel like I make a lot of them uncomfortable, and I feel like that's my job. Again, I have no problem with her comments in isolation. I have a problem with the double standard. I have a problem with if you said that, if someone, and we just saw it, Andrew Tate has said things, and he's also given far more context to everything he said. There's been a lot of things that he said that were clipped out, and of course, that's fine. He said them, but they clip it out, and then they try to ban him across the entire internet because he said something that these people said was misogynistic. But she can say the same exact thing in reverse, and that's okay. And it should be okay. What she says should be fine. She should be able to allow to say whatever she wants. And so should Andrew Tate. and anybody else on the internet for that fact. But that's not the world we live in, and that's what I call out all the time: the hypocrisy and the double standard, and the fake offended crowd out there that will pretend to be offended over whatever the mainstream tells them to be offended over, because they can't think for themselves, because all they can do is sit around and wait for their NPC update from the mainstream media in Hollywood. And when they send out the signals for you to be fake offended over something, you go on Twitter, you go on social media, and you pretend to be offended. And that's what happens. So no, in a perfect world, which will never exist, but in a realistic world, she should be able to allow to say whatever she wants. And so should I, and so should you, and so should everyone. But that's not the realistic world we live in. Because we live in a world where everybody wants to pretend to be offended over whatever the narrative tells them to be offended over. She-Hulk is trash. It's a bad show. And everything that we have said that it is guilty of, they're confirming it by hiring someone who says it's her job to make men feel uncomfortable. Imagine if a newly hired person on a Marvel show said it's my job to make women feel uncomfortable. How would that go over? That person would never work again. Of course they wouldn't, because of the double standard. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Check us out over on Locals, Rumble as well. We have a Rumble channel. We've been going live over there. Locals, please go support us over there. Live chats are on point on Locals. You can share memes and GIFs. It's pretty awesome. Thank you guys for the support. Appreciate it. Have a great day, and we will talk to you later.